Pick up your copy of the Son of Man Speaks magazine today. With the Son of Man Speaks magazine, you'll receive automotive tips, wholesome recipes, financial advice, and most importantly, a true understanding of the Word of God. Get your copy of the Son of Man Speaks from these select locations. Sisters, Braid 2, 18070 Mount Ellie, the Shell gas station, 13110 West 7 Mile Road. To get a subscription, call 601-786-9788. That's 601-786-9788. The Son of Man Speaks magazine, dedicated to becoming free indeed.
Attention, brothers and sisters, viewers and listeners, now available. Your Son of Man Speaks magazine digital subscription. Your digital subscription to the Son of Man Speaks magazine will also include our monthly e-newsletter, both delivered to your inbox. If you have any questions regarding the digital magazine subscription or digital newsletter, you may send an email to shabazsprinting@thenewnationofislam.com. That's shabazsprinting@thenewnationofislam.com. Or call 1-601-786-9788. That's 1-601-786-9788. You can also subscribe online. Visit www.thenewnationofislam.com and click on the magazine tab to register for your online subscription.
We would like to invite you to help support the efforts of the Unity and Rebuilding Fund. Visit the website at www.unityandrebuildingfund.com. That's www.unityandrebuildingfund.com. We often hear how we need to work together to rebuild the city. We're actually doing it. You can make online donations and click on links to track the progress of the Unity and Rebuilding Fund. And for more information, 313-868-0000 is a local number. Again, 313-868-0000. Support the Unity and Rebuilding Fund.
To make your online tithes, offerings, donations, gifts to the Son of Man through Cash App, make your payment to $New Nation of Islam. That's $New Nation of Islam. Or call 601-786-7056. 601-786-7056.
The Curls and Combo Natural Hair Summit is a 5-hour jam-packed event that serves to empower our community along their hair journey. You will have access to a host of licensed hair care professionals and beauty experts under one virtual roof. By creating the Curls and Combo Natural Hair Summit, I aim to break the norms set by society and redefine beauty standards for melanated individuals. Through Designs by Deej and this movement, the Natural Hair Summit, I am dedicated to providing a space that boosts confidence and self-love while championing the natural hair movement. Together, we empower one another to embrace the beauty of our unique hair textures and melanin-rich skin. Consider this your formal invitation to attend the 3rd annual Curls and Combo Natural Hair Summit. Grab your ticket and join us Saturday, October 19th, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. See you there.
Have you ever searched through a shelf full of greeting cards and still couldn't find the one that echoed how you felt? Well, search no more and call Designs by Deej. We offer birthday cards. Our cards are one-of-a-kind keepsake items that your recipient will want to place on their mantle with all of their other beautiful and treasured items. We also offer holiday cards. With Designs by Deej, no holiday will go unnoticed. Our unique greeting cards are sure to celebrate all holidays. We also have cards for special occasions. We are your one-stop shop for unique and three-dimensional, handmade greeting cards for all occasions. Specializing, we also take custom orders. Every card is crafted with care and made with love. So call Designs by Deej today at 601-451-9536 or visit our website www.designsbydeej.com.
Year-Around Landscaping has been serving Metro Detroit for over 20 years, offering various landscaping, lawn care, property maintenance, and home renovation. Our professionalism has earned us an outstanding reputation, while our creativity, integrity, and dependability have kept our clients returning and referring us to others. At Year-Round Landscaping, we prioritize quality customer service. We treat every client as our only client before, during, and after providing our services. We believe in building solid relationships with our clients and ensuring their satisfaction. Whether you need a complete outdoor makeover, indoor renovation, or routine maintenance, we have the expertise and resources to deliver outstanding results. Our team is committed to providing exceptional service and completing every project to the highest standard. To schedule an estimate or consultation, please call us at 248-843-6139 or visit our website at yearoundlandscaping.net.
Year-Around Landscaping. One source, unlimited resources.
For elite carpet, floor, and upholstery cleaning, call Supreme Steam Cleaning. For pressure washing on your house and driveway, call Supreme Steam Cleaning. Flooding in your house or building, Supreme Steam Cleaning's got you covered with our emergency water extraction services. Transform the rooms in your home with floor installation, repairs, and more. Give us a call today at 601-720-5138. That's 601-720-5138. Visit our website, www.supremesteamclean.com, and follow us on social media at Supreme Steam Cleaning. When you need an elite team, call Supreme.
SOS Graphic Design provides agency-quality professional graphic design services from established companies to startups and individuals, creating a simple logo to complete rebranding and delivering visual communication with print media. Everything SOS Graphic Design does has a single unifying objective: to set your business apart. We are at your service. Call 313-342-2166. That's 313-342-2166 or online at www.sosgraphicdesigns.com.
Are your clothes coming apart at the seams? Universal Seamstress and Tailoring has got you covered. At Universal Seamstress and Tailoring, we specialize in a wide variety of alterations and transformations to make and keep your clothes looking and fitting their best. From hem jobs to downsizing suits and dresses for a perfect fit to replacing zippers and buttons, Universal Seamstress and Tailoring is your one-stop shop for clothing maintenance. Also, do you have a logo for your clothes you'd like to wear? Universal Seamstress and Tailoring can put it there. That's right. At Universal Seamstress and Tailoring, we not only do alterations, but embroidery as well. Shirts, pants, coats, hats, even bags. If you can wear it, we can embroider it. So remember, whether it be alterations or embroidering you need, Universal Seamstress and Tailoring has got you covered. Universal Seamstress and Tailoring is located at 1404 Main Street, Fayette, Mississippi. Come and see us or give us a call at 601-786-0540.
You need to hide out. You need
Sisters Braid 2 Hair Braiding and Natural Hair Care Salon, located at 18070 Mount Elliott Street. Our new salon is spacious with adequate parking, Wi-Fi, and all brand new state-of-the-art salon equipment. Come meet your local hair braiders and natural hair care specialists and check out our many hair care services such as hair treatments, box braids, cornrows, tree braids, Havana twists, children's braids, natural twists, lock extensions, kinky twists, goddess locks, updos, full weaves, and more. Please feel free to visit us on the web at www.sistersbraid2.com or call 313-826-0498. Here at Sisters Braid 2, we offer exceptional care for exceptional hair. We look forward to seeing you. Sisters Braid 2 is a proud recipient of the Unity and Rebuilding Fund.
Murray, out of the pocket. 7 seconds. 6 seconds. Murray, hits the top.
Oh man, the power is out again.
You have reached Quality Construction and Engineering, your #1 emergency generator source.
Power outages can be unpredictable, inconvenient, and disruptive to your life. With a backup generator, your life goes on uninterrupted with power when you need it. Not to mention the peace of mind of having your property suited to weather the storm.
Whoever would have thought in Houston, Texas, that we would have an ice storm? It did happen. And that Sunday night when it came in, I got up and looked out the front door. Everything was pitch black. It was horrible. Something out of a novel or a science book that you had never seen before. Once the lights went out, my generator popped on us. It ran 55 hours. The only one had lights.
Get your backup generator installed with Quality Construction. We install both residential and commercial generators, so you're always covered. Schedule your consultation with us by calling 1-855-876-9370. That's 1-855-876-9370. Or visit us online at www.powerqec.com. That's www.powerqec.com. Financing is available with low monthly payments and 0% interest for 18 months.
That was the best investment that we could have ever made. That's my backup, the generator.
Generators with Quality Construction, built tough enough to weather the storm.
Capital Area Planning Services offers a variety of services catered to your land development needs. We offer landscape design, residential design, land planning, mapping and consulting services, and more. We have over 20 years of design and land planning experience. CAPS LLC offers services to developers, builders, architects, surveyors, contractors, government agencies, and private landowners. Feel free to contact us to find out which services are available in your area. You may reach us at 601-326-2966. That's 601-326-2966. You can also visit us on the web at www.capsllconline.com. Let us put on our thinking caps to serve your land development needs.
Tithes and offerings belong to the Lord. There are various ways that you can give to the new Nation of Islam. Before donating, the Son of Man would like you to first visit our website, thenewnationofislam.com, to view the progress page so you're clear on what you're supporting. Donations can be made on that same website from the Donate tab, or visit www.unityandrebuildingfund.com. To give via Cash App, make your payment to $New Nation of Islam or call 601-786-7056. To use GoFundMe, search Tithes and Offerings, the Son of Man. Donations can also be mailed to Muhammad's Temple at 5306 Red Lick Road, Norman, Mississippi 39096. For questions or more information, feel free to contact Accountant James Muhammad at 601-786-1636. Thank you for your charitable contributions and support of the New Nation of Islam.
Brothers and sisters, are you tired of reading the Holy Scriptures and not really understanding what you read? And if you're reasonably sure, have you ever tested what you feel you know with someone who have a different view than your own? Then let's talk with one another. Then let's reason with one another on a Scriptural Discussion with the Son of Man. Broadcasting live each and every day on the newnationofislam.com and YouTube. Sunday, 11 a.m. Central, 12 noon Eastern Time. Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Join us on Saturday at 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern Time for a congregational prayer service. You can also listen via conference call at 601-909-9135. The access code is 968280. That's 601-909-9135. The access code is 968280. For additional streaming options or to report a technical issue, call area code 601-786-1888. That's 601-786-1888. And now, a scriptural discussion with the Son of Man.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, the Truthful, and the Most Just. I greet all of you once again who are hungry and thirsty for the true understanding of the Word of God and for the truth in general. I greet you all with the greeting words of peace. May Allah's Salam Alaikum. I want to start with those who may have something they want to ask me or discuss with me before I get into tonight's subject matter. I want to remind you, as long as relationships are dependent upon mutual respect. If you want a relationship with any person that you consider to be your friend, your wife, your whoever, your husband, that ship will sink. It's a reason that we call them relationships. When you think of a ship, you think of something that's moving on water. Knowledge is the water. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, that's the water that allows human beings to have relationships. And as you speak to one another, as we speak to one another, we ship words between ourselves. We literally ship those words because we are walking around in water vapor. And the vibration, the sound waves travel on that water to the ears, And it can either bring us closer together because we are able to relate to one another, relationships, or we torpedo that relationship with that, some of them call them missives or missiles that they send that sinks the relationship. Do you understand? Intelligent people don't go around torpedoing relationships. We say burning bridges sometimes. We call it that. Intelligent people build relationships, build bridges. Not with lies, with truth. No building is any stronger than the material that you use to build it. So, don't start your relationships with people off with lies, because it's going to eventually, that material that you building it with, eventually it's going to crumble. A lie cannot stand forever. They have an old saying: you can fool some of the people all the time, and all the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. Simply because you're going to forget what lie you told. And people going to remember that you truthful people, they will hold you to your word. Because they assume you telling them the truth, and they hold on to what you told them. And then when you come back and contradict it, well, you just blew up that relationship because you blew up their trust. Do you understand? Okay. What is it?
Somebody raised their hand.
Yes.
Caller, you're on mute.
May wa alaikum ala salam.
That term cockatrice, I was wondering, is that just a spiritual term, or is there actually a creature that Allah has made that maybe He's not letting everybody see right now? That's called that.
No, that was, as far as I know, there's no such thing as a bird with a snake's head. That was an analogy that was showing that the human beings are like, the body represents the human family, and I remember the scripture says that I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves, and therefore be ye wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Well, the cockatrice, according to what I've studied, is a mythological creature that has a spiritual meaning to it. And that is, for instance, the teachings of the prophets. That body of knowledge came from the prophets. They are the doves. But when these people of this world start getting their hands on the prophet's teachings, they give you the snake's representation, or the snake's understanding of it, as he said he would do. He would lie in wait in the straight path and cause you to deviate. And so the body represents the body of knowledge of the prophets, which is the dove, and the snake's head is what people been doing in this world, making up false understanding of the prophet's teachings, and hence a cockatrice. You see, so, but you can look it up. They have they have many, like, I'll show you, I'll read some of it to you.
Thank you.
It says cockatrice. A cockatrice is a two-legged dragon. Wyvern. It's called wyvern in some cases. Or serpent-like creature that can kill with its eyes, touch, or breath. Well, that's what I was telling you. They took the word of God and gave misunderstanding of it and killed the minds of people. And so that's what I got out of that definition that they put there. That's one of the reasons why when you hear me explaining things, I always give credit to even the current ruler, because he couldn't have ruled. As the book says, you let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. Now, he didn't teach you and me to do what I'm doing when I go up here. Most people, he made us lazy. He didn't, we don't care to go and study things and find out things on our own. We'd rather somebody tell us. Do you understand? So we are easily deceived because we believe everything that people tell us instead of looking into it ourselves. But Allah told me, when unrighteous people bring me news, go and look carefully into it, lest I harm someone and later be sorry. So as you can see, that definition went along with what I was telling you. So, but now let's get back to what I was saying, that you can't have true friendship based on lies. Listen at the term, true friendship. Common sense, if you really think about it, if it's true friendship, it's based on truth. Do you understand? And so likewise, don't ignore people that you claim to care about when they tell you something that you are doing is bothering them. If it's something that you can correct, even if it's as simple as you snore, or whatever, you say, well, just, if I'm doing it, wake me up, tell me to turn over, whatever. Look online and see if you can get me something. that'll stop that. Because when you're real tired, you will snore. Yeah, it's a few times I woke myself up snoring, but that does happen. And it's like if I come in and I see my wife sleep or whatever, I'll tiptoe. I try my best to, not disturb other people's rest. I don't be slamming doors and that kind of stuff. It's just little things that I've seen some so tired they sit up here in my meeting and be going kind of dozing off. As long as they ain't snoring, I say leave them alone. I mean, people sometimes they just be so tired, and they will kind of doze, you know. And so I'm aware that even in our sleep, we hear things. The one thing about the brain does not sleep. The body sleeps. so I now that don't mean you come up in here and every time I look up you got your head back with your mouth open. Snort. But I'm simply saying that sometimes we can be so tired that it kind of catch up with you. You understand? So be considerate. That's one of the hallmark signs of righteous people. Considering the feelings of others. Do you understand? Always try to put yourself in the other person's position. You notice I talk to white people like that. You know, there may have been a time when I wasn't like that. I ain't gonna tell you that I've always been that way, because I have not. Because youth is hasty. I've even seen people online. They'll be on there. They've been in their 40s and 50s now, and moving on up into their 50s, and be telling you they used to be a skinhead. They used to be a somebody who members of the Klan or something like that, and they realize that that's not right. That's just not the way. People can change. The problem is many people they don't give people a chance to change. Why do you think the book says thou shalt not kill? Because all of our lives, that's the one thing that's been constant in our evolution. We are constantly evolving, changing. That we grew from toddlers to teenagers to adult. Our bodies was constantly changing, reminding us that hey, things, just because something is a reality today, give it time. The scripture says better is the end of a thing than the beginning. Do you understand? So give human beings the same space that you want to be given, that you was afforded. And there's many times I've talked to people. I remember the conversation that I had with the man that was burning them Qurans down there. And I told him, I understand why you're doing it. But he probably stopped after he talked with me. But the main thing was, you look at people and you condemn an act of theirs when you don't know what led up to that act. The scripture does say an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Meaning, what? When somebody do you wrong, you give them the like of it back, if that's what you so choose to do. If you forego that, then it shall be an expiation, a get out of jail free atonement card for you. Do you understand? But because you've offended people. We all have. So don't be so stony hearted. We are flesh. We're not made out of stone. We're made out of flesh. Flesh is soft. It is forgiving. You notice, touch something and see how your hand can touch something hard That hard thing won't give, but your hand will give. Do you understand? The skin on your hand will sink in. It gives. It is for giving. I didn't hear you. You know, so, you know, we can give way to certain things that offend us. And we also remember that people, it does not sit well with you when you tell somebody that they offend you and they ignore you. Well, then don't you ignore people when they tell you that you offend them. Tell them I'm sorry, and I won't let that happen no more. And if I forget, please remind me, because I don't mean to do that. Some things are a habit with you, and you do them without thinking. You understand? And so you have to be reminded. Reminding surely profits. And you know, so I thought I would just start with that, because, you know, I like peace. If you like peace, then don't go around breaking the peace. Take peace with you. What did David say? He said, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. That means I will dwell in the frame of mind. You notice when you building a house, you say, I'm framing it up. Is that right? Well, you have a frame of mind, and that is the house of the Lord. Do you understand? If you let it be. That's what I'm doing now, putting you in a frame of mind. We are framing up a new mind for you, a new way of thinking. Instead of being reactionary, no, you will never. If you live your life just reacting to what other people are doing, that means you are living your life on the level of something that is what we call dead. A piece of wood, or a chair, or a piece of furniture, or whatnot. The action that you do to it causes a reaction in that thing. But you don't need to react, you need to act, not react. You know, if you act, then you don't necessarily, your action does not, that's what we say act is short for action. Your action is not a reacting of what was just done. You don't always have to be a reflection of the evil that somebody just did to you. You can not react that out, but you can put forth an action that will quell or calm that situation down. Do you understand? So don't be reactionary. Whenever you act, let it be you acting and not reacting. Okay? There you go. That means you got to go through life thinking. You got to, as the old saying go, look before you leap. Huh? Yeah. So, as I was showing you, we almost was at the end of it, so I think I'm going to let it play some more.
Standing in front of the spot.
And blow. The wind will stay in top. But it'll just be like the wind hitting the curtain. It's not. This is a nucleus. This is a beginning. This is a small community. But the nation of Islam. And then you could sense it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad Respect for him will never depart from us.
See, now he was telling us who were members of the said nation of Islam, he was telling us what we wanted to hear. Do you understand? His whole plan was to destroy what the messenger had built in us. His whole plan was to come in and just do away with everything the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had taught us. That was his plan. Do you understand? You know, like that's what I was telling you when Donald Trump was standing up there talking about he gonna drain the swamp and all that kind of thing. I said, that man talking about he's talking about getting rid of your government. And I told you that. You know, people hate to hear I told you so. You wouldn't have had to hear I told you so if you hadn't put him in there. But you put him in there. He didn't even read the snake to you until after I played it. And he almost succeeded. He almost succeeded the first time. Well, he gets a second time. Well, he know what to do next time. From the Justice Department and everything else, he got his plan ready. Him and his handlers. So, but anyway, but see, WD, he had people in the nation, not to mention what was the government was doing. I don't know how deep their hand was in it, but they was in there. And because they had a counterintelligence program that they had sent black people in there to pretend to join and then try to tear it up from the inside. And so we had our issues. But I saw it, and I saw what was the end of it. As the messenger saw it, and he told us, he said, the nation's going to go down to almost nothing. He said, but don't worry, it'll be rebuilt, never to fall again. But that's because he knew that the Lord himself was going to be the builder of it. Do you understand? And so I'm here, and he gave me a prayer to pray. And that prayer was, O Allah, guide me among those whom thou hast guided aright, and preserve me among those whom thou hast preserved, and befriend me among those whom thou hast befriended, and bless me in whatsoever thou dost grant to me, and deliver me from the evils of that with which thou hast judged. For surely thou judgest, and there is none that can judge against thee. And surely he whom thou befriendest is not disgraced. Now that's the prayer, the way he gave it to me. You notice when I pray it, I pray a little different than that now. But because that prayer, he just gave it just for me. And that's the prayer of the Mahdi, the rightly guided one. O Allah, guide me among those whom thou hast guided aright. He guided the prophets aright, and he guided me into what the prophets left here, so I could find the truth that was hidden in their guidance. Do you understand? And so all praise is due to Allah. And so I'm here to offer salvation to everybody who wants it. You know, I see good potential in the United States just as much as Jonah eventually saw good potential in Nineveh when God showed it to him. Do you understand? The messenger began showing me when he said, now look, you don't go blaming them for what by nature you put in them. He said, blame yourself for putting it in them. And he said, I don't hold with us charging the white man with all the fault, because he said, now you free. And we see today he's not hindering us. It's we hindering ourselves. He said, so they are not to blame today. He said, you are to blame. So he started making us be men, be adult. And stop always saying reason we can't make it because somebody ain't helping us, or somebody ain't doing this, or he's stopping me, or no, you free now to go and do for yourself. Regardless to him trailing us to make it hard for us. He said, well, the Indian and the buffalo trailed him. But that didn't stop him from opening up a great country like this that you and I are sitting there and glorifying our freedom. So I got to have a few words with him because he never really freed us. Not really. And he know that's the truth. So he ain't going to say, yes, I did. No, he know he didn't. And so, you know, this is the day of truth. This is the day on which the truthful will profit from their truth. So, I want to, you remember, W.D. said, love for him will never depart from us. Talking about the message. Respect for him will never depart from us. It couldn't depart from him because he never had it. Do you understand? And he was busy calling the messenger a lie and calling the Master Farad Muhammad a false God. Saying that the messenger's teachings was false. So, he didn't love the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but he knew that many of us did. And so he told us what he thought we needed to hear in order to let him come in there in the house. And once he got in there, he started tearing it up. Do you understand? Yeah. So that's the rodeo I saw before. And now I saw Donald Trump. The same thing. They're wrapping himself up, hugging the flag and all that old kind of stuff. That nigga didn't care nothing about that flag. And if you asked him, if somebody should have asked him, say the Pledge of Allegiance. Let me hear you say the Pledge of Allegiance. I bet that nigga didn't know the Pledge of Allegiance. Why you calling him a nigga? Because I know what a nigga is. You think a nigga got something to do with color. It ain't got nothing to do with color. Look up the word, niggard. Niggard. Look it up. It means a stingy, miserly, selfish person. Ain't that Donald Trump? That nigga, yeah. Anyway, I have a, you notice I had them, they done stopped using the word bub. They gonna stop using the word nigga after a while. You watch what I tell you. Cause it applies to the one who using it. What do you call it when you hold a man in slavery and won't let him compete to try to see what's in him that he could do that you doing? And you won't let him do it. You a niggardly. Don't let him learn how to read. Why? Because he might be able to compete with me. You're a niggardly. Do you understand? Work people, and then when it come time to pay them, tell them, well, you either take this. You ain't paying them what you agreed to, but if you take this, you get it, or you can take me to court. And, well, that's how he do people, niggardly. And they lie. A nigga is a liar. You hear me? You can't trust the word. Give you the word, it ain't worth squat. So anyway, you see, I'm giving you new definitions of everything, ain't I? It's new to you because you never really understood what it was talking about. But now, I'm giving you the true definition of these terms. So,
though his 130-some pound physical body does not sit in the chair of his office, we still respect that chair because we know his work, his teaching, his thoughts, his ability, his aspiration, his ambition were not that came into being with the flesh that Georgia produced, but it's that came into being with time itself.
Yes. Our slavery officially began when the first black people was captured and put in the holds of ships. That started in 1555. From 1555 to 1955 is 400 years, any kind of way you count it. Huh? And I was born in 1950, at a time when you think not. That's when the baby boomers, remember they said the baby boomers? You remember when Moses was born, there was a whole lot of babies born? And they was trying to find the baby. They was killing all the boy babies. Huh? Well, the baby boomers, there was so many babies being born and everybody was happy, go lucky. And they had all these wholesome, television was just getting started during that time. And it was all black and white. And everybody was so enthusiastic over the wholesome, Leave It to Beaver, The Life of Riley, the Make Room for Daddy, Danny Thomas, and had all them wholesome. Even the cartoons was pretty wholesome. Didn't have no foolishness in that. Putting that image of white people out there as dignified and honest and sweet. And I was there. I saw all of this. I grew up with that. That's why when most of us heard that the white man is the devil, we didn't want to hear that. We said, I know some good white people. The only good white people I knew was the television. Do you understand? And when they told us about slavery, it was called Negro History Week. That's what they gave us, a week of Benjamin Banneker, Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman. They call it Black History Month now. But it used to be called Negro History Week. Because that's what it really was, Negro history. We didn't teach us nothing about no black history. How in the world a white man gonna teach black history? He didn't know nothing about black history. So he gave us in his schools Negro history. And we talk about Harriet Tubman and all that. That wasn't the time when we was black. That was our Negro history. Do you understand? And so true black history started for us with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's what true black history started. And so but anyway, as I look at this man standing up there in the FOI uniform, he didn't believe in that uniform, but he was committing treason while he was in that uniform. In his heart, he was set on destroying what the messenger had built up in us. Do you understand? Just like when Donald Trump insulted John McCain, that should have been enough for any patriotic people in this country to say to hell with Donald Trump. Do you understand? Because why? No commander-in-chief that I ever knew of, never heard of, insulted the military, anyone in the military. You know why? He's the commander-in-chief of the military. You don't insult your own men. The armed forces are directly, his authority is over them. How in the world you give a man authority over a man who would give his life for your country, and that man don't respect those men and women who would lay their life down for your country? Why would you put him over them? Because you done lost your mind. But anyway, let's look. Anybody who thinks that military personnel are expendable has no business being able to give them orders to go anywhere to fight and die. Because if he thinks that they are expendable, he's not going to worry about putting them in harm's way unnecessarily. You notice every time President Biden speaks to the American people, for the most part, every time he speaks to them, he always says at the end, and may God protect our troops. He has not forgotten that he is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. And he reminds himself and them that, hey man, I pray that God protect every one of you. And protect you in the best way by guiding me to not send you somewhere on no humbug. Do you understand? So I listened to him when he was talking. Like most of the presidents, they ended with, and may God bless the United States of America. May God bless America. And that kind of thing. He always said, may God protect our troops. They are his charge. And he does not consider them expendable. Just like those young men of the Secret Service and different places that would take a bullet for the president. And you get him a man like Donald Trump that ain't worth nobody taking no bullet for him. He ain't worth it. And I'm saying it and I mean it. Because he sure don't care nothing about them. He don't care nothing about nobody that he can't just abuse and use. The minute he can't use you no more, look what he did to Mike Pence. Mike Pence was loyal to him, wasn't he? You see what you get when you be loyal to a liar? What did I tell you about true friendship? True friendship has to be based on truth. Mike Pence was trying to befriend a liar. As long as he went along with Donald Trump's lies and just stood back there like a statue with a fake grin on his face, he was all right with Donnie. But the minute that he would not help Donald Trump overthrow the government and overturn an election, Donald Trump sicked the boys on it. Huh? He even told him, I'm gonna have to tell the people you wasn't up to it, that you wasn't loyal. Huh? What is, son?
Sierra Perdita asked me to call in. I just gave him a couple of
Okay. So we always have, look, y'all don't have to be asking, can you call in? Just call in. If I didn't want to talk to you, I wouldn't be on here. You see what's scrolling across the bottom of the screen? If you have a disagreement or a question for the Son of Man, and it's going slow enough for very slow readers like me, regarding his teachings or the teachings of the prophets and the messengers of God, speak to him live on the air by calling the teleconference room. The number is 601-909-9135. The access code is 968280. Press 5* to unmute your phone. You can also reach him on Skype, and it give you that number. So it's, it ain't like you don't already pay attention to what's going on. I know some of you may not be watching on YouTube, but if you already in the conference room, you wouldn't be asking, could you call in? so yeah, call in. I love to talk to people that want to question me. You can question me all you want. Just question me and then listen for the answer. Don't question me and then don't give me the courtesy to listen to my answer just because you may have thought that I wasn't going to be able to answer. Sometimes people question you not expecting an answer. You understand? But if you ask me a question, expect an answer. And if it's about something I said, I will answer you. Now, when you press 5*, the brother gonna see your hand go up in the conference room, and he will unmute you.
This is a nucleus. This is a beginning. This is a small community. But the nation of Islam is the whole earth.
See? He didn't believe that. But he sure stood up there and said it, didn't he?
And with the words that he was saying, the winds of adversity are going to come against us.
And when the strong gush of wind coming from the forces of emotion come against this house and blow, the wind will stay tight.
But it'll just be like the wind hitting the curtain. It's not going to even waver. It's not going to move.
The shade doesn't even waver.
There's not one wind that can blow against this that's going to even ruffle the shades.
The curtains at the window, though the window be up, won't even be moved by the winds of emotion.
those words was empty. Those words were meaningless. Because at a time when, see, you didn't realize how many people hated the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that was in the nation until they heard that he had passed away. And then this man, instead of needing to comfort people, he was standing up there talking like it was business as usual. All of them was. They didn't care nothing about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But what they was able to get out of him in the way of eat to live and all that. You saw how good all of the Muslims looked. He taught us how to eat to live. He put the sisters in garments where everywhere they went they got respected and protected. He dignified the brothers that they felt too dignified to just be walking up and down the street in some blue jeans and a t-shirt. Do you understand? That was his teaching. And when he passed away, they there clapping for W.D. Muhammad as though he did something for us. Huh? Ignoring what the messenger said about what was going to come after him. The messenger said, he had even said, if someone tells you that I passed away or I died, don't believe them. You know why he said don't believe him? As Jesus said, if you loved me, you would rejoice. Well, let me read it to you. I like people to understand something. No, I'm not contradicting what I was just saying about them, but I'm showing you. Let me see here. John. Yeah. Let's see. I like to show you these things so that you don't just give me a minute. Takes a little time to bring these things to you. So just hold on. This is in the 14th chapter of John. It says in the 28th verse, you have heard how I said unto you, I go away and come again unto you. Remember he said he had to go get another book. Huh? Well, I'm the book that he had to go get. And that's why he said, if I go not away, the Comforter will not come unto you. Do you understand? But if I depart, I'll send him unto you. Why? Because when I'm absent from this body, I will be present with the Lord himself. That's why you don't speak of them as dead. You can't speak of Paul as dead, or Muhammad as dead, or Jesus, or Solomon, or Moses, none of them. Because their mind, the mind that was in them, was the mind of the Lord. And that mind is here now and all of them are here with me. Do you understand? So they are alive, and you perceive not. You got the microphone for a reason.
Somebody raised their hand.
Yes. Unmute.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Oh, hi. Well, I want to start off by saying thank you for everything that you do. I'm the one who commented earlier about if I was able to call in, and I just want to say thank you for all the knowledge and, for taking the time to speak with us every night. And pretty much,
what's happening with this?
Last time I had told you, I'm really interested in starting my journey and learning more and pretty much converting.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I have a long way to go because pretty much, since I found you, on, pretty much on the channel, I knew this was the way to go for me. And, especially today with some of the stuff you were talking about earlier, it really hit home because, it kind of went along with my day was going. So, like I said, thank you so much for everything that you do. And I hope to continue to learn more every day and follow you.
You're welcome, brother. And you just stay in class, and I promise you, you won't regret it. So.
Yes.
And
thank you.
You're very welcome, brother. All right.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And what are your best advice, like, to continue to go? Sorry about that, because I'm nervous, because I didn't have the courage to call, but today's the day that I'm going to do it. What is the best way, or your recommendations on learning to pray daily, and also on starting the path with you to follow you more? Like, what is the best way for somebody that's new, like in my situation?
Okay, we will send you some. If you're ready to follow, then we will send you the prayers and everything, and the position. You stand and pray. We don't get on our knees and that kind of thing. God didn't make us to go on our knees. So we any more than you would tell your son, get on your knees and ask me for what you want. You wouldn't tell your child that. My dad ain't never put me on my knees to talk to him. And so Allah is our Father, and He loves us. And so He fathered the knowledge that's in my head. He fathered the Holy Scriptures. It came from Him. And the reason Prophet Muhammad taught us all of those different positions, he was showing the different positions that you can pray in. If you can't stand, then he said pray sitting. And if you can't sit up, then and all you doing is laying on your side, he didn't pray while you laying on your side. But whatever position you are forced to be in other than standing upright, you can still pray. In a wheelchair, you can pray. As a paraplegic, you can pray. So, but as Jesus said, when you stand praying, pray in this manner. He didn't say when you kneel praying. He said when you stand praying. So, our proper way to pray is you see what I'm doing right now, and you bow your head just like that with your palms up, bent at the elbow, and then you pray and ask God to close your eyes, because we don't pray to material. Matter is not God. Mind is over matter. And so we close our eyes, and that's our way of acknowledging that we are not worshiping stuff and things. We worship Allah in our minds and in the truth. As the scripture says, the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit, meaning in their mind, and in truth. And so whenever you hear the truth, submit to the truth. And if you got to speak, and if the truth will cause innocent people to be hurt worse than a lie, You just be quiet. But don't you lie. Don't you speak lies to people. And so this is what I was taught, and that's what I know to be true. And so,
thank you.
You're welcome, brother.
Okay.
So
have a good evening, and good evening, everybody, and thank you for the time. And yeah, I'll keep in touch with you. And,
are you Spanish? Are you Spanish American?
Yes, I am, sir.
Yeah, I thought
I'm a Latino of
yeah.
color.
Man, you got some decent, good people, brother. I remember when I was in East LA, when I lived in LA, and I met some of the kindest people that I ever met was the Spanish American people. And
yes,
I'm thankful that you are listening, and I pray Allah that He take care of you and your family, and I hope we get a chance to meet very soon. But yes, sir.
Thank you.
And thank you. Now, I want you all to get back to that 28th verse, because Jesus said, I go away and come again unto you. If you love me, you would rejoice, because I said I go unto the Father. That's the same thing Paul said. When I'm absent from the body, when this mind is no longer clothed over with the body that it was in, that same mind will be present with the Lord Himself. That's what Paul was saying. That's what Jesus was saying. He said, for my Father is greater than I am. Yes. And you hear all these people run around here lying to you, talking about Jesus is God. Ain't nobody greater than God. Did you hear what I said? Even though Jesus was a God. Because that's what the scripture said. The Word was with God. Oh, well, the Word, the Torah, was with Moses. The Proverbs was with Solomon and Ecclesiastes. Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, the Songs of Solomon, that was with Solomon. The book of Isaiah was with Isaiah. Did you see that movie called The Book of Eli? You know Eli means my God, right? So when you say the book of Eli, you say the book of my God. you see? So it's not what it sounds like. If you look up the meaning of names, you start to realize that names that that the prophets had, they were attributes of the one true living God. Do you understand? They were aspects. It's like you are a four-dimensional being. They call it three-dimensional. But in actuality, even that was wrong. You got a front, a back, a top, and a bottom. Well, don't you? If you could get up under you and look straight up, you would see feet. And maybe a little part of legs or whatnot. Get on top, you see head and shoulders and that kind of thing. But you get in front, you see your face and the frontal part of you in the back. So that's 4 dimensions, ain't it? So, the devil told us that a clear day, the sky is blue. When the sky is not blue, it's gray. But he says blue. He just tell you anything and you go for it. Yet when you see the rainbow, you can tell that blue that's in that rainbow don't look nothing like the blue in the sky. I need. See, stop running with everything the devil tell you. Better start looking into stuff for yourself. But anyway, so I'm here to give you a mind that is not delusional. Yaqub gave them a delusional mind. And he let them live like that and told them, you go do all of that. That's why when they told him, he said, my Lord, you know, I'm going to make evil fast seeming to them on earth and cause them all to deviate. And Yaqub told him, that's the right way with me. Go to it. Even told him to go and subdue the earth and have dominion over it. So he went forth conquering and to conquer. What's another word for conquer? Subdue. And he told him, your white skin makes you better than everybody else. And he believed that. So he went out and conquered everybody that wasn't white, if he could. And then you see what he's doing with Putin doing in Ukraine. He trying to conquer white folks now. Because they are competing. You know, he Vikings. Vi means compete. When you put the two together, Vikings, they are competing for, like the Highlander. You remember the Highlander? All of them fighting over who's going to be the one. And so Yaqub set them in motion doing that. But now it's time to know the truth. That God made all nations of men from one blood. And the human beings on this planet are a human family. We are the human family. And it's time for us to come back under the true Father. Do you understand? And so, you know, if you, I don't care what you did before you heard me. I only care how you acted after you heard me. That's what you're going to be held accountable for. So now let's get back to this. I want to get through with this tonight.
And future direction and hope for the future and a determination that as a community we were going to survive and not just survive, but we were going to thrive.
And men of knowledge.
You could look at her and tell the community didn't survive. But she don't look nothing like the community that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad built. She looked like what we looked like before the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us. You didn't want the garments that a black man designed for you, so you went and got back in the clothes that the white man made, huh? And you comfortable now. Oh, okay.
Fall down in the floor and weep and moan and cry like babies when the winds of emotions come. Let your winds of emotions come against this house. It stands forever. Peace be unto you. Assalamu alaikum.
For 43 straight years, Elijah Muhammad had presided over an organization that influenced a lot.
And when you ask any of them, hey man, what do ice mean? You said salam means peace. So what do ice mean? Assalamu alaikum. What is that? They don't know what it meant. But you see, everything I teach, I know what I'm saying. You don't get no Arabs or nobody coming in here telling me I'm saying the greetings wrong when I say may Allah's salam alaikum. What they gonna say? When I say may Allah's peace be unto you, what's wrong with me saying that? Nothing. They the ones saying it wrong.
Men, women, and children surviving scandal, betrayal, and the assassination of a prominent figure. This chapter in American history was coming to a close, and Wallace Muhammad would take his place as leader, and the changes he would make would be felt throughout the world.
They lift him up on their shoulders like he's at a football game. That's the way winning teams do when the buzzer go off and they in the lead. Is that right? They lift the coach or they lift the quarterback or whoever. Yeah, that's their man, you see. You ain't never seen no Savior's Day end with people lifting the messenger up on their shoulders. It wasn't no football game. They told you right there that they was backwards. They was going into something that we ain't do, that we don't do. When the last time you seen the members of Congress, when the President of the United States get through speaking, they go up there and lift him up on their shoulder? When have you ever seen that? Any nation, when have you ever seen them lift their leadership up like he's a quarterback or something? That is the most undignified thing that you could do.
Wallace Muhammad disbanded the Nation of Islam and changed its name to the World Community of Islam in the West. With this transition,
what did he do? He disbanded the Nation of Islam. Love for him will never depart from us. Respect for him will never depart from us. It was the first thing he did. He didn't rest until he got rid of everything that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad did. At least as much as he could. But what he didn't know, and what did none of them know, was that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad completed his mission. That's why you hear people run around here talking about they carrying on the work of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You can't carry on the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's work. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad completed his work. His work was to raise me. That was his work. And he did the work that Allah sent him to do. This teaching will rise a powerful son of truth and the spirit of truth from this part of our planet, among us whom God has raised up. That's what he said. For the light of truth that the scientists or prophets of the East could not give to you will come from the West. The light of understanding of the scriptures comes from the West. The scriptures came from the East. But the man to explain the scriptures and guide you to the truth in the scriptures, he will come from the seed of Abraham that's been afflicted in the West, and this man was fashioned out of that furnace of affliction. And now he's standing here. And the whole world, collectively, cannot dispute anything that I teach. There you go. And you know that the whole world has looked down on the black man of America. And now the black man of America is, they done found out, is the Lord himself. And if I'm not the Lord, why ain't nobody saying nothing? Told you, Muhammad Ali gave you an example of what to expect. All of them said he had a big mouth. Huh? But after as he said, they all will fall in the round I call. Is that right? How did they beat him? They took his title away and put him in jail. Cause he would not accept being inducted or ordered to go into the military. Their authority ended in 1914. He had no authority to be ordering us to go do nothing. So, but as before it was over with, those who hated him was calling him the greatest. It's just like your silence now. It's just a fulfillment of the scriptures. The kings of the earth shall shut their mouths at him. See how you done shut your mouth at me? Now, if I'm not him that is talking about, let me hear your mouth condemn something that I said. Remember what I told you. Speaking truth is not boasting. All I'm doing is speaking the truth.
He would be forever referred to as Imam, a title identifying him as a Muslim leader throughout the world.
We have now clearly declared ourselves to be not only Muslims, but followers of the Quran and followers of Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah, almost from the beginning, the Imam began establishing the universal.
Anyone who claims to be following Prophet Muhammad ain't nothing but a liar. Because Prophet Muhammad is no longer here. Anyone who claims to be following any of the prophets is lying to you. You following your idea of Prophet Muhammad, your idea of Jesus, your own. What you actually doing is following your own self and labeling it, putting their name, forging the names of the prophets on your own interpretation of their words. Now, if that ain't true, I owe you $75,000. Come in here and collect it. Show me that you following any of the prophets right now. Show me that you following them. I know how to break you up. I'll take you in their word and tell you to explain it to me. They told you to look for the rightly guided one. And that's the one you're supposed to be following. That's me. When you follow somebody, you obey them. Huh? We sent no messenger, but that he should be obeyed. Son of man, I do send thee unto the house of Israel. All of you were commanded to obey me. Show me that that's not true. Show me that you can get around me. Which of the prophets teach you that you don't need to obey me? Show it to me. Because I'm going to tell you something. I don't want no job that don't belong to me. It's hard enough worrying about myself than to be having to worry about everybody on the planet. No. So if this ain't for me to do, $75,000 is cheap to find out that this ain't my job. Then I can just go on and live my life and wait on the Lord along with everybody else. But if I'm the Lord, I ain't waiting on nobody because I'm the one that everybody been telling you to wait on. I didn't hear you. Elijah been here. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. So if I'm not the Lord, where's the Lord? Okay. All right. Just remember, they were squared. What'd I tell you? All these people that's been talking about Jesus is Lord and all these other people talking about this one is Jesus is Lord. How come they ain't coming in here telling me Jesus is Lord? Because Jesus told them, my Father is greater than I am. Well, how could Jesus be the Lord of Lords if there's one greater than him? I didn't hear you. Point me to the one that's greater than me. But just point him out. I want to meet this one. Point me to the one who's equal to me.
Of the religion. Almost let me get it.
Muslims believe in the oneness of God, the oneness of society. And we don't believe that society can function well unless it's in agreement with itself.
You see how he's saying things that if you listen, you know this man ain't sent from God? Society doesn't function well unless it's in agreement with itself. No, society don't function well unless it's in agreement with God. I dare you. See all that faking that they be doing, talking about, I follow Quran, no, they ain't following the Quran because they don't understand the Quran. If they understood the Quran, they wouldn't have called Elijah a liar. Negroes didn't know nothing about no Holy Quran until the Honorable Elijah Muhammad introduced them to it.
If you could go back to the early time of his teachings to us as a community, as he was erasing the blackboard, he was also writing on that blackboard the mind of the community, the universal ideas of our religion.
He said, he know we are tied in the...
You couldn't have no universal idea of Islam from the world, because all of the ideas of the world was already condemned in the scriptures. It says all our religions was as filthy rags. That's what Isaiah said. And the Holy Quran says, Allah, He it is who sent His messenger with the guidance and the religion of truth, that He may make it prevail over the religions, all of them. Though the polytheists may be a verse. Now, there was no universal, one universal religion. This world had Christianity and had denominations of that, had so-called Islam and denominations of that, and all these sects and parties that they made up. The Holy Quran called them female divinities because they came not from God, they came out of man. Do you understand? Fetuses of man. Female. And their religions ain't worth the paper that they printed on. How you know that? How many of them you done seen come in here and defend their religion when I call them all a lie? Atheists was riding high on the internet making fun of these people's religions. And atheists was making fun of them. Huh? You can't find an atheist come in here and to try to tell me there ain't no God now. And that religion is a farce or whatnot. He don't tell me that. Why not? Because the truth has come. And falsehood must vanish. Is falsehood done vanished? Huh? You hear anybody saying that that all religions are false? If all of them is false, that means mine is false. Come in here and show me that mine is false, and I'll pay you $75,000. See, the people in this world are known for their mouth to be running and their brain be idling. Do you understand? They're always saying things that they can't prove. That's why it's like this man running for president and wouldn't get on the stage unless you agree not to fact check him. You're not. We got to have an agreement that you're not going to be fact checking me while I'm talking. Don't be checking to see if I'm telling the truth. Ain't that something? Do you know how insulting that is for a man to be running for the office of president and tell the newspaper or the news media, you can't fact check me or I'm not coming on? And they went for it. This is what you say to people like that. You tell them, if you are a reputable news outlet, you tell them, I can be fact checked. Whatever I say, for instance, if I put something out there that's not true, the person that I said it about can sue me if it's not facts. So I'm fact checked. I'm not going to hold you to no standard different than me. And if you don't come on, I'm going to tell the people that the reason you didn't come on is because you didn't want to be fact checked, because obviously you was planning on coming on here lying. Do you understand? But you know, these people, they care more about money than they care about their country. And when it get like that, once your patriotism can be bought out, it never existed.
He wants to take us out of that into Islam proper under the Prophet Muhammad. of 1400 years ago. Now this father.
Did you hear that? He wants to take us out of. Let's hear her say that again. Into Islam proper. Just a moment.
Out of us the ideas of our religion.
He said he know we are tied into blackness. He wants to take us out of that into Islam proper.
He wanted to take us out of blackness into Islam proper. Of Prophet Muhammad of 1400 years ago. Prophet Muhammad didn't leave blackness. Prophet Muhammad said, submit to authority even if his skin is like soot and his hair is like dried raisin. It don't sound like he was out of blackness to me. What do you think, brother? You know, these people just lie. All of them. Look, to support a liar, you got to become one.
Prophet Muhammad of 1400 years ago. Now this father.
Taking out of us.
See? He won't follow Prophet Muhammad of 1400 years ago, not his father. What? They were going to follow Moses, not this liar, Jesus. What is that what they said? We know Moses, but we don't know nothing about this fella. What is it? Lying dogs. And Jesus told him, he said, don't think that I will accuse you to the Father. There's one that accuses you, even Moses, in whom you claim to trust. And if you get the hadiths of Prophet Muhammad, he told him, 3 generations after me, not going to be of me no more. He knew that the people in his lifetime, they was only following him as long as he was there. When he wasn't there no more, they all went their different ways. You ain't never heard Prophet Muhammad call nobody a Sunni Muslim or a Shiite Muslim. That's their mouth. Around here talking about, well, Jesus taught Christianity. Jesus ain't never known no name Christianity. If you met Jesus and came up to him talking about, I'm a Christian, Jesus would say, what is that? What is that? The prophets were all Muslims. You see, ain't none of these scholars trying to dispute with me about that.
The nationalistic thinking and making it more universal.
I can only say it personally, I mean, that it can only be a work of God, because it's just such a total transformation.
The most profound change that was made was the change in the belief that God is black or manifest in black flesh, and that the devil is white or manifest in Caucasian flesh. This was, I believe, the most disturbing change, if I can put it that way, the most disturbing change that have taken place.
Wallace came in with a completely different agenda and program. And it was like, whoa, what is this?
He was very progressive in his changes and progressive in his teachings and preaching, and removing the old ideas with explanation.
The attitude in the past, as you know, was one of suspicion and fear. Suspecting that the Caucasian would abuse the trust if they were trusted, and a fear that the community wouldn't.
What is a suspicion? A suspicion is something that you have that you don't actually yet have proof of. Is that right? Well, didn't we have proof that white people wasn't trustworthy? That's how we wind up in slavery over here. The man promised us gold, promised the king gold, and when the king got over here to see where his people was coming to, he didn't get no gold. He got chains. He might have painted them chains gold, but he didn't get no gold. He got chains. And then they kept going back getting more, till the people started saying, well, where the king at? You keep coming here to somebody, he said, send some more. Where the king at? See, they don't tell you the truth about everything, but when you are a logical person and you know how we do things, how the black man did things, the king wouldn't send you off somewhere and before he know where he's sending you. Huh? How do snakes swallow their victim? Head first. You see? Yeah, they made it look like he just came over there and started stealing black people. No. That's where you get that thing where your people sold you to us. No. He promised them gold if they would come help him build up a civilization. So then they lie to you and say they sold you into slavery. That's what he tells us. But the mere fact that we hear and everything that he told us, even the 40 acres and a mule, it was all a lie. Huh? Now when they hear me say, well, I speak for black people now. Now the black man is awake. See, when your head wake up, regardless if your arm done lost circulation and you can't move it, or your whole body done lost circulation, if the head is awake, the person is awake. You got to talk to their head. If you know what's good for you, you'll talk to me. I'm not going to be unreasonable. All I'm going to be is what you would be if our roles were reversed. You would want what I'm asking for. That's all. Now you already acknowledge that you took our freedom because you say we set you free. We freed you. Well, that's an acknowledgement that you held us back from freedom. So if you freed us, but you didn't give us nothing to go free with, so you didn't free us yet. You simply said it. It's time to do it. I think that Germany agreed to pay some type of reparation to Israel once they were established. I don't know if they're still paying, but I know that at one time they was paying it. Let me see here. We got ways to find out. Siri, is Germany still paying reparations to Israel? Don't clam up now. Can't hardly get Siri to say nothing when I'm in class here. Just a moment. Siri, is reparations being paid to Israel right now by Germany?
One moment. I found this on the web.
The reparation agreement between Israel and the Federal Republic of Germany was signed on September. See? They don't want to tell it because it's going to go over there. They don't want to hear it. Let me see how to get it to go over there. Is reparations being paid to Israel by Germany at this time?
Here's what I found.
But you can go on there and you see, yes, it was signed. They was paying reparations to Israel. And that was just for what, 12 years or 14 years of mistreatment by Germany of the Jews? This is for all of these people that sit up and want to make light of the Jews suffering in Germany and say that the Holocaust didn't happen, then why was a reparations agreement signed by Germany, the Republic, the federal government of Germany, to pay reparations? What would they be paying reparations for? For something that didn't happen? You see how you make up lies and how quickly your lies can be refuted? Next time any of you all hear somebody say that the Holocaust didn't happen, of the Jews, they call it the Holocaust. Just ask them, well, why did Germany sign a reparations agreement for the Jews if that didn't happen? The Germans seem to believe it happened. I think they know a little bit more about it than you do. I didn't hear you. Now, I'm trying to show you now. And that was for just what, 12 years? What about 400 years? And you don't want to talk to me? Okay. You know, it's more just like Helene sitting up out there in that water, just waiting to be rose up to come against you. All right.
Grow with Caucasian presence.
Imam Muhammad came at a time when we in the nation of Islam were becoming rapidly dissatisfied with the rampant materialism, the exploitation of members by the leadership, deceptive practices by the leadership.
If you can survive a public reprimand, I think you should sit in the back of the room. Because the imam didn't wait to take you into the back office to tell you what he thought about your shortcomings. He would tell you publicly what he thought about your shortcomings.
Many rank-and-file members of the Nation of Islam believed that there were ministers who had utilized the Nation of Islam for their own personal gain, and the new leader was not reluctant in expressing his displeasure.
They don't fight me. Right up here you got sissies. Right up here there are sissies. I don't have to identify them. You know some of the sissies that sit up here. In every mosque leadership, you got some sissies. Now, who are you going to follow, me or the sissies?
When the imam came into office, everything had to be made over again. He had to bring these people now out of the teachings of Elijah Muhammad that they had been in since the 30s.
Imam Muhammad made a tactical withdrawal that was so powerful.
Now think about that. Love for him will never depart from us. Respect for him will never depart from us. Is that what he said? Now they're talking about you had to bring them out of the teachings of it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Take that away from him. Huh? Is that respect? Is that love? If you love me, keep my commandments. No, if you love me, throw my commandments away. I hate. Yeah. You see, that's hypocrites. And these who try to make sense of it, they wind up saying things that we ain't never did. We ain't never tried to hide the fact that we was Muslims. What I look like hiding? Talking about a tactical move. No, that was hypocrisy. You say you a Muslim, if your life and your death is all for Allah, what you care about people's threats? You're not going to make me deny who I am because you threatening me. You got a behind too. You can't come after mine and leave yours at home. And if you come after me with something other than your flesh, Allah will deal with you on that. He'll let you plan it and then make you do it to your own self.
Because you got to realize that the FBI had their scopes on the Nation of Islam.
And they knew that the Nation of Islam, under the teachings and guidance of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, was not no danger to this country. They knew that. How you know they knew it? They weren't going around arresting us for doing terrorist acts and that kind of thing. They knew we wasn't no terrorists. Regardless to what you hear some people saying. How in the world we terrorizing you when we ain't got no guns, no weapons, no nothing? And if we bought some, you would know that.
That listed us as a terrorist organization.
No, a potential terrorist organization in the wrong hands. Do you understand? The United States Army, the United States Armed Forces is a potential terrorist organization in the hands of somebody like Donald Trump. I didn't hear you. That's why a well-regulated militia is necessary to the security of the state. Why? Because you have in the military what is called general orders. You also have a uniform code of military justice that applies to all branches of the military. So when somebody get in authority, if they order you to do something that the Uniform Code of Military Justice forbids, you can't do it. You cannot be ordered to go and murder American citizens. You cannot. Do you understand? Donald Trump was there asking some of them, can't we just shoot some of them in the leg? Ain't that something? He didn't want people to exercise their freedom of assembly, their freedom to protest peacefully. He didn't want that. And now you talking about putting his sorry ass back in there. You sorrier than he is.
And when he came in, he started changing temples to mosques, which meant taking out chairs and having prayer rooms. He started having the fast of Ramadan in appropriate months.
But in time, he deconstructed and dismantled many of the structures or the infrastructure that was in place during the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
But Imam Muhammad,
he didn't dismantle nothing. He talked you into dismantling it. He couldn't have done it if you hadn't obeyed him. You know, people always try to blame. I remember I was looking at Babylon 5, and they was talking about President Clark. I think that was his name. And one of the who was it? Garibaldi was saying Clark took power and Efren Zimbalist Jr. told him, he said, no, men don't take power. We give it to them. Do you understand? You know, one man take power over people. People give that man that power by being stupid enough to obey him. And then when things go wrong, they blame that man. They never say, we shouldn't have done this.
we shouldn't have did that. No, you put him there. And whatever he did, you were his accomplice.
Now, as wise as he was, made a tactical move and took us out of the uniform, reassigned us, and put us back in the street looking like everybody else. So
he didn't take us out of the uniform. He took you all who disbelieved in the messenger out of the uniform. Do you understand? And I'm gonna tell you something. When you are a soldier, your uniform is what gives you protection under the Geneva Convention. Your uniform gives you that protection. But if you get out that uniform and they catch you spying and whatnot, you wasn't in uniform, which means that you was hiding the fact that you were a soldier. Do you understand? That's why spying is so dangerous. And so whatever they do to you from that point on, you got problems. And so, I found that out looking at Turn, Washington's spies. They caught one of the spies for King George now. They caught him. I think he was a major or a colonel. And when they found out who he was, they hung him. And he asked George Washington he petitioned Washington to let him die in his uniform. And I thought to myself before I saw what happened, I said, yeah, Washington probably gonna let him go ahead and put his uniform on. And George Washington said no. He dies just like for what he was. That way you know why he was being killed. He was a spy, and he got what spies get. He didn't have his uniform on when we found him. He had civilian clothes on. Do you understand? And then I understood, because even the symbolism of that, if you hang a man and he's in uniform, it is saying that he was a soldier and you just hung the man when he was no more in a position to fight with you. Do you understand? That would have made the Continental Army look unjust. You understand? So Washington made him, no, you can't die in your uniform. You took that off. No. So, it's like when people was running around here talking about Donald Trump and them, he done got the whole country up in arms against Muslims. I said, I ain't gonna hide from these people. Hell, I'm a Muslim 24/7. None of my followers. You don't hide from these people. What, Allah stopped being God? You don't trust Allah to protect you? No, I trust Allah. And if he let you do something to me, he had another plan. And I still trust him. Because I should have been dead a long time ago. I know some things that I experienced. And, it just, like I stepped off the curb in front of that Mack truck. And it just stopped. Didn't screech, didn't do nothing. It was moving too. And I was, I have no doubt that if Allah can do that to a truck, he can sure do that to a bullet. Do you understand? So you're not dealing with the God that don't control the living. God is the God of all living things. All matter lives. If iron wasn't a living creature, iron could not keep you alive. Iron go out of your blood, they call you anemic. You don't get some in there replacing it, you will die from lack of iron. You don't know what's going on around you.
Who they is.
Because I worked with him in the early days in placing, moving cities. And I always wondered why, when you come into something and it's basically stable, why do you start shifting people around? And because when the people who are now unsure of the direction and they got a familiar face in front of them, the best thing, if I was organizing something, keep the familiar face in front of them. And your changes that you're trying to implement through that familiar face in front of them, use them to implement the change. But when you start shifting people, you erode credibility, you got new faces.
What was Donald Trump doing in the White House? Steady moving people around. Huh? Yeah. The said Nation of Islam don't exist. That Nation of Islam don't exist no more. W.D. Muhammad, he got rid of that. Do you understand? You see, he thought that he was getting rid of the Nation of Islam. But that wasn't the Nation of Islam. That was an example. The messenger said, we are making an example for you. And he told me, he said, there are no big I's and little U's in Islam. Now that's what he taught me. Everybody that was in the nation learned that. No big I's and little U's. And then he showed me why. He created the very thing that he said there is none. He created captains, lieutenants, squad leaders, ministers, assistant ministers, secretaries, and gave all these people rank. And he as good as said to me, now observe. And even though we call them brother minister, brother captain, brother secretary, brother lieutenant, brother squad leader, when they had that authority and could order people around, that's what they did. Sometime the captain would be coming and they said, step aside, brother, the captain coming through. Step aside. Why couldn't the captain just say, excuse me, brother, if he's trying to pass and you in his way, excuse me, brother, and go out. But no. The only example that we had of exercising authority was the white man. And that's the way he exercises authority. Big I and little U. They call them, in the military, they call them peons. You know, he can urinate on you because you ain't got no rank. Do you understand? So whatever he say to you, peon, is just another way of saying that you just a pawn, or you just somebody that's inconsequential, and however he talk to you, that's just tough. Do you understand? And so the messenger told me, now in Islam there are no big I's and little U's. That's why you haven't met no captains and no lieutenants and all that stuff around me. If you want a believer to help you with something, you can't order him to do nothing. You have to ask him. Do you understand? That's how you realize you show respect to people. Before you respect people, why should anybody give you authority over people when you don't respect them? So now, I saw the truth of that when the messenger set it up and let me see how we act when we get a little authority. And I said, yeah, I see that now. No big I's and little U's. You know, when they came around the messenger, he showed respect to all of his followers. But these other people, captain, lieutenant, and whatnot, they thought that made you their slave or something. You know, some of them. There were some brothers who knew how to conduct themselves, but you know, they were far few and in between. so you know, the more he didn't just tell me things, he showed me why he told me those things. And it was up to me to get the lesson as I you know, lived among all of the people. You know, at that time, I didn't know I was the Lord. I didn't know I was the Son of Man. I was just another brother. And I just, you know, did observe things and that I saw was uncalled for. You know, of course, nobody, you know, didn't nobody just bully me. You know, I was always the kind of person that would speak up for himself. You know, I wasn't gonna just take you just running over me.
They themselves are unsure.
There were those who were in disagreement with the changes that Wallace Muhammad had made. Among those who were in opposition to his new direction was Minister Louis Farrakhan.
I was sitting in a mosque in St. Louis. I was sitting there on the floor. This is November of 1977. And Imam Muhammad had evidently heard the rumblings. So Imam Wallace Muhammad said, I heard that there's some people trying to reestablish or rebuild the teachings of my father. I put a nail in that coffin and you'll never be resurrected. In June of that year, I had resigned from Imam Muhammad and relocated to St. Louis. And by the middle of 78, Minister Farrakhan held a couple of meetings.
And you see, Minister Farrakhan, he may have thought he was going to rebuild it, but he couldn't because he wasn't the one that the messenger told them to wait on. Minister Farrakhan helped tear it down. He was up there pledging his allegiance to W.D. Muhammad and telling everybody else to give their allegiance to W.D. Muhammad. And he went for years espousing the teachings that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad didn't teach us true Islam. Now, Farrakhan did that. And that's, you know, when you prove, when you show that you went back to sleep, how can you claim to be the Lord? The messenger said he was dead. Now he's alive. He was lost. Now he's found. Well, how in the world he talking about you if you got lost again? Do you understand? No, I ain't get lost no more. And I did not go back to sleep. And you see where everybody else was running away from the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I stayed in it and grew out of it. And go in and out of it now whenever I please. Do you understand? The messenger said, if you can walk out of what I'm teaching, you will have to make steps on your own. But he told him, he said, I don't believe you'll be able to walk out of what I'm teaching. Because before you can walk out of it, you got to crawl around in it. And you got to grow in it until you get strength enough to go in and out of it and understand what's really being said. Do you understand? When the messenger said, you go by the white man's color because you didn't know who was up under the color. Well, to the average person, they just gloss right over that. But he knew I would find it in the scripture. The scripture says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities and against the rulers of the darkness of this world. We wrestling against minds. It ain't got nothing to do with the flesh. if the Son of Man ascend up where he was before, where was the Son of Man before the Son of Man was in this flesh here? The Son of Man was in this book. And if I ascend up into this book that's over your head, it is the mind that's ascending. This flesh ain't doing nothing but standing here. The flesh profiteth nothing. The messenger said, are there any Muslims other than righteous? He said, I beg your pardon, I never heard of one. Master Farad Muhammad's father was black. Extremely so. And his mother was a white woman, whom his father went into the hills, into the scriptures, and based on the scriptures, cast the devils out of the woman and made a good Muslim out of her. And then he put his seed in her. So if white skin makes you devil, then how you gonna make a Muslim out the devil? I didn't hear you. So, no, white skin don't make nobody devil. White skin was what Yaqub was looking for to form and then put the devil in him. Do you understand? He made a form for wickedness, and that's the white man. And then he put the wicked mind in him, and that made him devil. And so now I'm telling all of you that when the devil was given dominion, then the devil produced the gremlins here. He produced all of us. He put his mind in everybody else. And so death passed on all men. It was appointed unto men once to die. As in Adam, all died. Huh? So we all been practicing devilishment, and we've all been dead spiritually and following the devil. And now it's time that we all be changed. What is it, son?
Yeah, so to hide ourselves to the Son of Man, is it correct to say each one of the prophets were part of you at different times?
Yes. Every one of them. As the book tell you that. It says, when I say to them that when I was hungry, you fed me. And when I was thirsty, you gave me drink. When I was sick and in prison, you visited me. And the righteous will say, Lord, when did we see you hungry or sick or in prison? And he said, as you did it to the least of these my brethren, you did it unto me. You see? And the wicked will ask me the same question. When did we fail to help you or do for you? Whatever you did to the prophets, you did to me. That was me. The Spirit of the Lord was upon them. I am the Lord. What you did to them, you was doing it to me. You don't take a hammer and bust somebody, hit somebody's big toe and the head, say, hey man, what is wrong with you? You done hurt my toe. And you say, I just hit the toe. I didn't hit you. All of it is me. Every one of the messengers of God is me. Most people, they don't understand what that means when it says, He, Allah, is one. There are many parts to truth, but there's only one truth, and it's all one. You got many parts, but it's all you. You are one being with many parts. If all of them wasn't me, you'd be able to find something in their teachings that don't agree with me. there's your proof that they all follow me. As it is written, John said, he that cometh after me is preferred before me because he was before me. All of the messengers of God brought parts of the truth that's in these scriptures here. All of them brought the different phases of my mind. The mind that's in me came out of these books that was left here to tutor me by them. They are my tutors. I had a private school. And so my school, nobody else can go to it but me, because I'm the Lord. It's just like your eyes and your ears and all of the members of your head. All of their what the eyes see, they relay that to the mind. Matter of fact, every member of your body sends its messages to the head to be interpreted by the brain, which refers it to the mind. And the mind decides what to do about it. Do you understand? You see? So all of you, all my people all over the earth are my people. The earth is the Lord's, the fullness thereof, the world, and everybody in it. Everybody belongs to me. And everybody now is suffering the lack of peace. I'm the only one who can solve your problem. I have the solution. The greatest solution to man's peace or lack of peace with his fellow man is he has not learned to treat others as he would like to be treated. If you start treating others, if everybody agreed that we're going to treat others like we want to be treated, not like they treat us, but like we want to be treated, then there will be peace on earth. As you would that men do to you, do ye also unto them. That is the simple solution to a problem that seems so complex. And it's so simple that the simple-minded ignore it. That won't work. So what you've been doing been working, huh? Yeah. That's why you buying more guns, because it won't work to treat others like you want to be treated. So buying guns, that's making you be at peace, or is it making you more paranoid? Anyway, you're like a dog biting a sore that's hurting it. You ever seen a dog do that? He'd be hurting so bad he's biting the sore, making it worse, and not biting at it. But anyway, that's what y'all doing. Every time there's a school shooting or whatnot, you keep talking about put more police in the school, put guns in the teachers' hands, gonna turn the school into a demilitarized zone. Everybody in danger when they get in there. Yeah, you better watch out. Somebody get the gun and shoot you. Yeah, boy, y'all some crazy folks. Instead of de-escalating it, you escalating it. Because you want to see the country implode. I know what you're up to. You're trying to get America, the United States, to destroy itself, and the ignorant people here, you're using them to do it. They're so ignorant that they would help destroy the greatest country that ever existed under them. They ain't never had a country equal to the United States. No other Caucasian nation, no other nation has shown you a government that as self-correcting as the United States. That Constitution is really something. This form of government that Allah gave these people is really something. Anyway, let me let you go. You don't think, and I want to leave you with something to think about. If it pleases Allah, next week I may not be on the video, but I'll be calling into the conference room, and brother will show on the screen the docket. It says the United States District Court for the District of Columbia, United States of America versus Donald J. Trump, defendant. Criminal number 23 CR 257 TSC. Government's motion for immunity determinations. And they want the judge to determine what immunities are covered and what private actions can be charged to Donald Trump, and they offer evidence towards that. And it's quite thick, so I'll be reading some of it every day next week, if it pleases Allah. So meanwhile, if there are no questions.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
We have two people here.
What is it?
The first one is Jacob Munaz, and he says, and he says, y'all tripping, Jesus Christ is God.
Well, you know, I would believe you really believed that if you had came in here to talk to me, but you wasn't actually addressing that to me, because in the first place, y'all ain't doing the talking. I'm doing the talking. So you trying to talk to the audience and trying to make them stumble, but you can't make nobody stumble in here, because they know, like I know, that if you really thought you had something to say, I've offered $75,000 if you could show that I'm teaching something that's not right. So if I'm tripping, why don't you come in here and collect that money by showing that I'm tripping? So, you know, it is sad that, you know, this world is full of people that's so full of themselves that they, you know, they are like vampires. They've been convincing themselves of their wisdom so long that they really can't see how dumb they really are. Like a vampire looks in the mirror and he can't see himself. That's you've seen the movies with vampires. Vampire can't see himself. You see, people who abuse other people and seem to do it callously and without any feelings for other people, they are compared to that fictitious character called vampire, because the vampire is a bloodsucker and he can't see how ugly he is, or otherwise he wouldn't do what he was doing. He's undead. Do you understand? You know, so he's he's doing what he does based on his understanding of what he's doing to be the right thing. Huh? When it's the wrong thing. So he's undead. But anyway, brother, what was the other one?
The other one is someone with a screen named Cobra Commander. And he says,
Cobra Commander?
Yes, sir.
Oh, we got G.I. Joe in here? All right. Oh, excuse me. Cobra Commander was the crook in there. All right. What he say?
He says, question. The angel told Muhammad to read. Read what?
Actually, he tells Muhammad to recite and, read in the name of thy Lord. Read or recite in the name of thy Lord. The word Quran says it is that which is to be recited. That is the meaning of that word. That which is to be recited. When you read, you recite. You see? In this world, they taught you wrong by telling you to read silently. But the proper way to read is to recite what you see on the page. And so, they get it all twisted. By the time we get it, they done messed it up. And so I have to straighten it out for you. But the angel that you are talking about is the mind that was in Prophet Muhammad, that inspired mind that was in him, taught him to recite the words of Allah. That's why they say when he would be reciting, it would be like he was in a trance or something. And that's what the revelations, they came to him over a period of 23 years. At different points in his life, revelation was revealed to him. Inspired words were revealed to him. And when you look at the creation around you, and you extract knowledge from looking at things in the creation that the Creator reveals to you, and that's why it's called inspired. Just like when you take in air, that is inspiration. Your respiratory system is taking in air, inspiration. And when you look at the world around you and the universe around you and can extract truth or divine truth from it, then your mind is inspired, you see. And so he recited what was inspired in him to recite. And he read the creation. What else?
Somebody raised their hand, anonymous.
Now they know I'm. Go ahead. Unmute.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Son of man, I have a question. I wondered what you thought about it. There's this commercial with Kamala Harris, and she wants, I guess, to spend taxpayers' money to give prisoners sex change. You've seen that, I'm sure.
I ain't never heard nothing like that.
Oh yeah, it's on.
Look, understand something. There's a lot of things they're trying to put out there now to try to make it look like Kamala Harris. Have you ever heard Kamala Harris stand up and say she's trying to promote sex?
Yeah, she's
sex
saying
changes?
it. She's talking. She's saying it.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I mean, they got people putting that AI stuff out there, artificial intelligence, and you have to use your head. I mean, no, ma'am, I don't buy into that kind of garbage. And even if it was true, I'm not here to tell people that they can't get sex changes and they can't do that. That's a person's freedom to do if that's what they want to do. I don't want it. But if a person want to do that, that's their freedom to do that. So that's not my business.
But taxpayers' money,
First of all, everything that tax money is spent on ain't necessarily something that I agree with it being spent on. But the people that it's being spent on is taxpayers too. So I don't.
Are prisoners taxpayers?
Beg your pardon?
Are prisoners taxpayers?
Yes, ma'am. Once you see what you don't understand is that there's nobody in this country that does not pay taxes. If you buy something from the store that is taxable, you pay taxes. Even a child has to pay the taxes. That's how this country's government was set up to be able to serve all of its people. You got people talking about, I don't want my tax money spent on this, or I don't want my tax money. It ain't just your tax money. The people that it's being spent on is paying taxes too. Don't they have a right to have something spent on them? I mean,
well, yeah.
I ain't going there. Ain't nobody. I ain't never been the kind of person that could only see my side of something. You know, that's the problem with this world. People want the right. It's just like some people. They said, "Look, I want a government where the religious people is in charge." And well, so you don't believe that people should have the freedom to choose their religion. But I do. I believe people should not be forced into religion. I believe people should be able to choose whether they want to serve God or not.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was just a question. I just wanted to see what you thought about that.
Now, if you want to know what I think about transferring your gender, I think it's stupid. but if that, you know, I think getting drunk is stupid. I think using drugs is stupid. But people do it. Mm-hmm. And if God didn't want us to have our own choices about things, He wouldn't have gave us a free will.
Mm-hmm.
So God don't want people that He has to bully into doing something. It's like a lot of people, they think that God punishes people with the when they don't serve Him. And in a sense He does, but not in the sense that people think. The Scripture tells you how God punishes you. As they did not, this is over in the book of Romans. This is how God punishes you. Romans, the first chapter. And you turn to it with me, and you'll see. You know, people have been misleading us. It's time to know the truth.
Yeah.
This is the 28th verse. It says, "And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient."
Mm-hmm.
So God, and the way He punish you is He leave you to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's just as that. Okay, that's what you want to do. Bye. Go ahead. You know.
Okay.
So just be satisfied that you have a sane mind. When you see people, when you hear people talking about, well, I was born a man, but I should have been a woman. Well, that's somebody who ain't wrapped too tight. And so, you know, so when you know that somebody is not really that's not really quite sane, you don't let them surprise you in what they do. You know, just be thankful that that ain't you, but because except for the truth from God that's in you, there you go. You see, you know what we say, but for the grace of God, there goes me. You see, so just they mad. They mad about Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is a decent woman. She's an intelligent woman, and she is a patriotic woman. And she got sense enough to realize that just because you have religious beliefs, your religious beliefs are yours, and yours alone. You don't have the right to get in government and force them on anyone else. And that is the beauty of the Constitution, because it agrees with the Word of God. The Bible says, whosoever will, let him come and drink of the waters of life freely. The Holy Quran clears that to remove all doubt about what it means. There is no compulsion in religion. You don't have the right to force religion on anyone. And the Constitution says Congress shall make no laws respecting the establishment of religion, nor prohibiting the free exercise thereof. So this government is something, and the more you look at it, the more you realize that those men that drew that Constitution up, God was with them men.
So man, I'm glad to hear your viewpoint now. You know, like I said, I see it every day, and I said I was gonna call you and see what you thought about it.
Yes, ma'am. You always feel free to check with me. Always feel free to talk to me.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Look, always remember, brothers and sisters, when you say my tax money, don't forget that person that you objecting to something to, they pay taxes too. And if I'm paying taxes, don't I have a right to receive some benefit from the tax money that I pay? That it should go, some of it go to what I would like. That is the beauty of it. Because if you look at the taxes that you pay and look at how much money this government actually collects in taxes, you would realize that your personal tax money ain't necessarily going for that. Them people's tax money is going for it. People that agree with that is going for it. You see? So, taxation without representation is tyranny. You know? So even though prisoners, people don't think that prisoners supposed to get paid, I think it's some kind of pay go to them prisoners if they working there, because slavery is against the law. But now, they wasn't born in prison. What about the tax money they paid before they went in prison? You see? So don't treat your fellow man as though they are subhuman. We are all human beings. Never forget that. And we all got separate minds and separate thoughts. And our thoughts should mean something to our fellow human beings, even if those thoughts are wrong. It's a way to tell us that they are wrong. And if you taxing, if you're gonna make us pay taxes, don't ignore me when I tell you that I would like some benefit from those taxes. So, all right. Are there any more questions? Okay. Then may Allah bless us, keep us safe, and
and in our right minds. And may He grant to each of us who receive His word with thanksgiving a peaceful and pleasant night's rest and sleep, and a happy, peaceful, and pleasant morning's rise. May Allah's Salam Alaikum.